Welcome to Money Matters with Greg, where we dive into the money conversations shaping your life. From investments to estate planning, insurance to taxes, we cover it all with a fresh perspective. Join Greg and his guests each week to get inspired and take control of your financial future. Let's get started. Securities and investment advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Good afternoon and welcome to Money Matters with Greg. I am Greg Farrall, CEO and owner of Farrall Wealth. It's a wealth management firm here locally in Valparaiso, Indiana, and serving clients nationally in 24 states. And we talk money on this show. We have guests on this show quite often. And you can find this show on podcasting anywhere you pod, as well as 103.1 FM WVLP, where we are broadcasting Thursdays at 1 o'clock and then replayed on Saturdays at 1 o'clock as well. I'm a licensed financial advisor, and we work with clients on a number of things that I try to bring to this audience as much as possible to just help you with your money, invest your money, save some money, and then also bring on some experts that would be helpful in some way to you. We have had mortgage brokers, realtors. Looking forward to a number of different people coming on in here. We've booked coming up here in the next month or so. So very excited to have our 172nd episode today. And today, I wanted to get into year-end stuff. We did a year-end planning conversation just a few weeks ago. Talked about a number of different things you can do before the year-end, tax loss harvesting, making sure that you can pre-fund your mortgage. Certainly get the deduction in this year in 2025. Just a number of different things. You can certainly check that out. That is episode 171, and you can get that again anywhere you pod. Money Matters with Greg. We also YouTube channel and all socials. You can find us at Farrall Wealth and at Money Matters with Greg. Anyway, let's get to it. I wanted to wish everybody, obviously, a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you were able to spend a ton of time with your family and friends, eat some good food, and laugh a lot. That's really, really important to be able to have humor in your lives. And I certainly hope that everyone had a great time and is looking forward to the holiday coming up here as we go into year end. One of the things that we see, and this just recently happened to a very close friend and client, their family was hit by cyber attack that ended up losing money. Money was stolen from their accounts. They had identity theft. They had to change their accounts. They had to go through just a massive amount of stress. And to the point where they've really, it's become, it's paralyzing. I mean, it's real paralysis for sure. And it really does affect not only the core family, but everyone around it as well. And I saw them go through this and just wasn't anything that for accounts that we have or anything else. It was their bank accounts that they have at a local bank was attacked. So ultimately, everything was restored, but it was just a ton of work and a ton of stress. So I want to talk about cyber attack prevention tips today. I've got 10 for you today, and then I also kind of wanted to go into some of the types of risk that are out there. So one, tips on how you can prevent and prevention on cyber attack, because as we know, we're shopping a lot here. Here going into the holidays, your family's shopping a lot. You know, your kids have social security numbers that can be stolen. Your address, name, any PII and personal information is at risk, and you really need to be aware of all things around you and be aware of your surroundings and some of the things you didn't even know. So hopefully today we're able to kind of bring to you some things that will help you along the way. With that being said, really, here's my David Letterman's top 10. If you remember David Letterman and you're old enough to know that, he had a show where he always did his top 10 that were always really funny. Really wanted to tailor this towards small business owners and individuals to just sort of easily explain some of the things you can do before December 31st to avoid becoming a cybercrime statistic. One of the things you can do Number one would be to freeze your credit. You can freeze your credit on your spouse and your kids too. That takes 10 minutes per even each bureau, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. It's free, and it's probably the most simple, most effective way to stop identity theft for a new account fraud. You can always release that credit hold before you apply for anything else, but at least you know you're doing it, not someone else, which is very, very important. So you can do it online today. You can go to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and just Google any of those sites and get to work on that. It's really the safest way to make sure that no one is starting an account with your name on it in any way or taking on any debt as well. They can apply for mortgages if they have the right information. Number two would be simple multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Everywhere that matters really is a priority. Your email or your financial life really dies if your email is hacked. Banking, brokerage logins, your Apple, your Google account, your Microsoft account. Use the Authenticator app. You can use Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator. Authy as well is another app that works really well. And not SMS if possible, just because that can be hacked as well. So I would replace any remaining passwords that were unused or weak and get a password manager if you don't have one. Bitwarden is free and excellent. 1Password or LastPass is one that we use for sure. If you want to pay for anything, they have free programs as well. But you can at least get through your monthlies. It's sort of like a year-end type New Year's resolution to stop reusing passwords across sites. Update your most important devices: your iPhone, your laptop, your tablet, even your router. All of these install and on a new pending update. So old software as well kind of opens a door into these type of devices. So set everything to auto update going forward, which is another way to think about things. And then you can switch to passkeys where available. Google, Apple, Microsoft, PayPal all have, and many banks have passkeys as well. We're seeing multiple different, things that slow you down, but the pain and the suffering of having those things stolen is going to slow you down even further. Many banks now support those passkeys, passwordless logins, fingerprint. I know Apple, and that's our network, is all fingerprint as well. So just trying to make it easier for you, with fingerprints is so much easier than having to go through the whole passkey, everything else. And so just highly recommend doing it. Next is setting up an account alert on every financial account. Text or email alert for any withdrawal or transfer over $1. That certainly helps. I know I have clients that put alerts on whether their account balances go below a certain number. For sure, you can easily put an alert on a withdrawal or a transfer of over $1 to be alerted, so you at least know what's going on. So, and then you also get an alert for a new payee added login from a new device. It takes about 2 minutes per account and catches fraud almost instantly. So that's really huge too. I don't know what number I'm on, but I'm going to keep on going here. Again, the show's Money Matters with Greg. I'm Greg Farrall, CEO and owner of Farrall Wealth. It's a wealth management firm here locally in Valparaiso, serving clients nationally. Today, we're talking about cyber attack risk and the things that you can do. We're on WVLP FM 103.1 on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, and then also broadcasting a replay on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. And you can also get us anywhere you pod. Hope you're listening. Like the podcast if you can. Follow us along, and hopefully we can save you some money moving along here. Next thing, as far as cyber attack risk that I highly recommend, is to shred or lock up old tax returns, financial docs. The IRS requires you hold on to your tax returns for 7 years. You can scan those and then shred them. You can scan them, put them inside of your cloud or inside of your virtual vault if you have it. Identity thieves still dig through trash and stolen mail. So buy a $30 crosscut shredder and move old files to a locked cabinet. Is really the best way to do it. Next thing is to check your credit card for free trial. Auto renewals. These are all you want to go through the last 6 months of statements. Checking this credit card, it alerts you if anyone else is going to apply for a credit card for these auto renewals. So make sure that you at least check, and then you go through the last 6 months of statements to make sure that you haven't been hit with any sort of auto renewal. For any sort of one thing's for subscriptions, we see tons of people paying a number of things that they didn't even know they were paying. So that's really helpful. Next, you want to go through and you want to cancel and get refunds for anything you forgot about. Adobe, newspapers, gym apps. With these subscriptions, scammers love hiding $19 and $99 charges anywhere. And you want to make sure that you are not getting hit for these things. So that's why we recommend 6 months of statements. Go back and just see what is this charge? I don't even know. Usually, there's on the charge there's a 1-800 number. You can Google that number, find out if it's real. You can call the number if you really want to. But it's very rampant for these $19, $9, $99 charges that you don't even. It really doesn't affect your life and you don't pay attention to. So highly recommend you just double check. It doesn't take long just to kind of go through your personal statement and just see if anything's being hit. You can remove your personal info from data brokerage sites. If you go to Delete Me or Privacy Duck or just Google remove me from search sites, that certainly helps. At a minimum, hit the big ones. So Spokio, Been Verified, Intellius is another that really helps. Takes an afternoon but really, takes a little time, but really cuts down on the phishing that looks legit. Phishing is a type of, we're going to get into that in a second, exactly what that is, but it is what it is. It's PHISHING, not fishing like I love to do with fly fishing. It's fishing for information and making sure that they ultimately keep on getting more information and ultimately can apply for things with that information, unbeknownst to you. And then what happens if we get hacked is the next talk with the family, as I recommend, is having a plan. We always talk on this show about making a plan and working the plan and a financial plan, but what about as a family, what do we do? So decide, over the holidays, when you're talking about this stuff, maybe bring up the fact that, hey, what happens if we as a family get hacked? And 3 kids, they can easily get hacked. You could have a 5-year-old have their identity stolen. So, who calls the bank first? Where's the credit freeze info saved? These sorts of things are really, really important. Do you have a small amount of cash and a backup credit card that's not in your wallet in case everything gets frozen and your entire financial world gets hit? This 15-minute conversation really saves days of panic later. That's just my top 10. Really to just go through the cyber attack tips that hopefully will help you and give you some ideas that will sort of just like knock things out. If you do 3 things from this list before the ball drops on Times Square, all right, that's 10, right? That's a lot. It might be too much. We'd like to swim in the shallow end of the pool before we get in the deep end, right? And just maybe accomplish 1 or 2 things. So I would go with number 1, number 2, and number 6, which was freeze your credit first. You can do this for you and your family, and that makes you feel real good knowing that that's done. Again, you can always open it up if you're going to for a car loan or a credit card yourself or anything else. Take the credit off, as well as even internet services are going to check your credit. So you can always turn it back on and then turn it off and feel safe at night. So that's probably number 1. Next would be turning on the multi-factor authorizations. That's number 2. Turning on with your email and banking for sure. And then, of course, you set up transaction alerts with your bank as well. And that's number 6. So if you set up the transaction alerts, that medley or that trio of 3 different things to do really set up, that's probably close to 95% of most financial nightmares that you hear about every week. Feel free to you can brand it Greg's year-end cyber lockdown checklist or your very own. You're welcome. Hopefully it helps with some ideas here that can help you avoid any sort of cyber attack during these holidays and the holiday shopping season. The show's Money Matters with Greg. I'm Greg Farrall, CEO and president of Farrall Wealth. It's a wealth management firm, independent wealth management firm, working with clients all over the nation. If you have any questions or need anything from us, and also I have some topics, I'm Greg at farrellwealth.com. You can also find us on any socials, the YouTube channel as well. So Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and Instagram at Farrall Wealth. You can find us on all of those. Next, and then we're broadcasting here at station identification 103.1 FM here at WVLP. The show airs at 1 o'clock on Thursdays and then Central Time, and then 1 o'clock on Saturdays. You can also get that on TuneIn Radio as well. Just look up WVLP if you have a subscription to TuneIn Radio, so you can get us anywhere. Also, WVLP.org is international, obviously, so you can listen to us on the web. So we talk finance here, we talk money matters and how it might help you, and that's where I really want to go into the last things is sort of common cyber attack types. That is sort of a rundown on attacks that eventually hit everyday people and small businesses in 2025. Happens all the time. So the most common attacks in sort of a rough order or frequency for individuals and small businesses, one would be phishing. That I mentioned before. It includes smishing and vishing, which is video as well, and anything to do with gathering any sort of information to go. You have fake emails, texts, phone calls, tricking you into clicking links or giving info. Example is your Chase account is locked. Please click here to verify. Business email compromise is the next one. Any sort of what they call back BEC. But a hacker breaks into or spoofs your email and asks your bookkeeper, spouse, or client to wire money. Average loss for small businesses is $100,000 or even higher. So really want to make sure you're careful for that, and also let your bookkeeper know or your accountant know that you want to verify any transfers before and need authorization verbally, and then make sure that is actually a real person and not AI. That is really important. So that's probably one of the top two. And then you do credential stuffing is another one. It's called password reuse attacks. Basically, crooks take usernames and passwords leaked from some random site years ago, and they try them on your bank and PayPal and everywhere else. And this is why multi-factor authorization is so important. Unique passwords are just non-negotiable anymore. You have to do it. So that is another huge cause as well. And then the next one would be ransomware. Your files get encrypted and you're asked to pay Bitcoin to get them back. That hits a lot of small medical offices, law firms, accountants, especially hard, where they need the data back. Basically, the data is held ransom, and that's why it's called ransomware. And so the fee can be sizable. It can also be pretty minimal, but it is going to be an issue for sure. Is having to come up with those funds to be able to get your data back is pretty brutal, and it really stops business for sure and stops your financial life quickly. The next scam would be a tech support refund gift card scam. It's a pop-up or a caller says your computer has a virus. We're issuing you a refund. Please log in here or click this link, and then it ends up with them draining your account or making you buy gift cards for them to get the virus removed or any sort of bank account. So we see that quite often. It's not, again, a huge dollar amount, but it can be, and it can add up for sure. Another thing that is to be aware of is called ATO. It's called an account takeover. They get into your bank, your brokerage, your Venmo, or your crypto account. Usually because there wasn't multi-factor authorization. And they drain or transfer before you notice, and that's what happened to one of our clients. They noticed pretty quickly, but it was already gone. It is a huge thing, and ATO is an account takeover. Next would be just simple malware. You have Trojans, keyloggers, info stealers. You download a fake invoice PDF or cracked software, and it quietly steals passwords and banking cookies that are on your computer. So be aware of any malware and make sure you're running your antivirus software and malware software on a regular basis. Set your software to update frequently and remove and scan frequently as well. I'd say at least once a week, if not once a month, if not more. Whatever you decide to do, you could even do it daily if you really wanted to. These fake invoice and these vendor email attacks, they look like a legitimate bill from a supplier you actually use, but the payment goes to the hacker's account. So this is really important. We had an insurance company that was taking collections, and the client has always sent it a certain way. They were told to send it a different way, and they did that before the insurance group could actually get to them to tell it. So they actually sent a huge premium bill payment to in an erroneous place. It can happen. These are very calculated and very technical and very efficient hackers and criminals. So just trying to make sure that you are thinking about all those things as much as possible. So when you see a legitimate bill from a supplier, but it looks a little off, it probably is. One of the last ones is a romance, or it's called pig butchering scams. Someone you meet online grooms you for weeks, months, then asks for money and gets you to invest in fake crypto platforms, or sending them money in some way through Venmo or Zelle or whatever it might be. This is the number one way Americans lose money online, is romance and what's called pig butchering scams. So obviously just be aware. And then the last one is SIM swapping. This is a little bit less rare, or less an occurrence and more seldom. I guess the best way to put it is a hacker convinces your cell carrier to port your phone number to their SIM, and then it ultimately moves over. So this instantly bypasses all SM and based multi-factor authentication and takes over every account tied to your phone number. So that's really big as well, for sure. And again, if you have multi-factor on, it won't happen. Or if you have an password encryption software, that won't happen either. So I hope that helps. Those are just top 10 tips on cyber attack risk, and then a list of the most common attacks that are out there and what they are and how they occur. I know everyone out there feels as though they've got things in a good spot, and if you don't, please do. The thing I've seen is the people that are attacked are just every day, just like you, your neighbors, your friends. They knew they shouldn't have clicked that link, or they shouldn't have done this, or whatever it might be, and then it gets real scary. So trying to prevent that here during the holidays as we walk our way through the month of December. I want to thank everybody for being here. The show's Money Matters with Greg. I'm Greg Farrall, CEO and owner and financial advisor of Farrall Wealth. And again, trying to help you with your money, add some value to you and your family, save you some money, make you some money as well. With some of the topics we have, this is 172nd episode, which I can't believe. And we are very excited this week. I want to just give a quick plug as I wear my IU vest. Again, going into the Big Ten Championship undefeated. Here we go. Going to play Ohio State on December 6th. So hopefully we'll see a victory down in Indianapolis this Saturday. And the next episode I make, we'll have a victory. Thoughts and prayers for that, for sure. Again, 103.1 FM, WVLP, broadcasting here at 1 o'clock on Thursdays, and then again on Saturdays. You can also catch us anywhere where you pod as well, YouTube channel, social media, you name it. And email me, greg@farrallwealth.com, with any questions or any topics you want to talk about. I want to thank you for the time. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful holiday if I don't catch you in the next episode. And be well. Catch you. See you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Money Matters with Greg. We hope you gained some valuable insights today. Remember, your financial journey is personal, but you don't have to go it alone. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe and share. Until next time, here's to making your money work for you. Securities and investment advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.